Hey guys, welcome back for another edition of Chat with Chondee. Today I'll be going over a couple of my Netflix picks. So I have my list here and ready. The first one is Marlon. It's a TV show. It actually still airs on television. I think they just finished or either released season 2 or season 2 just ended. I don't keep up with it on TV because I watch it when it comes on Netflix. But I do know it is hilarious. So it stars Marlon Wayans. And if you know anything about the Wayans family, you know they date back all the way back to the 90s. I used to watch him when he was on In Living Color, when they had the Wayans Brothers show, and now he has his own show, Marlon. So definitely need to check it out. Marlon plays a divorcee where he and his ex-wife are parenting their 2 kids, and then he is a YouTuber and it follows him as a YouTuber as well as his roommate and then his ex-wife's best friend and how they try to co-parent after divorce and keeping their friendship. And if you know anything about Marlon, you know that he keeps the last coming. So I know I watch Netflix depending on what mood I'm in, is dependent upon what I'm watching. And so if you need to laugh and you know you enjoy Marlon Wayans, please watch his show, Marlon. It's awesome. Another show that I watch for the laughs is Nailed It. So I don't know if any of you like this, but people will see either on Pinterest or YouTube or just somewhere in a magazine, see a recipe and they're like, okay, I want to do it. I want to make mine look like that picture and taste great. And they do it and it might taste good, but it looks nothing like the picture. That's what this show's about. So it's called Nailed It. They bring on 3 contestants that are not like professional bakers or anything like that. They give them a example of something that they need to make a replica of, and they give them, I know most times it's no more than an hour or 2 hours to get this thing done, whether it be cupcakes or cake or what have you. And they have to try to get it as close to the original as possible, and normally nobody does it, and watching them at least try for it is hilarious. The host is very funny. I can't think of her name right now, but it's a very funny show. And I also may do a Chat with Chondee episode where I do a Nailed It edition and go on Pinterest because I love Pinterest, and I might try to find something on there and make it for you guys and we can see if I nailed it. So that's a great comedy to check out. A Netflix series, Grace and Frankie. Grace and Frankie, I don't even know right off bat whether they consider it a comedy or a drama. I don't know. It could be a dramedy as far as I'm concerned. So the premise of the show, it follows Jane Fonda and what is her first name? I had it up a minute ago, but her last name is Tomlin, I believe. But anyway, the show is great. I'm pulling up my Netflix. That's what I'm looking at right now. But what it does is it follows these older ladies. They're like in their late 60s, early 70s. And what it does is they're married to 2 lawyers who are also late 60s, early 70s. And they take them to a dinner. This is the very first episode. I'm not going to spoil it because it tells you in the trailer that this is what the show is about. So they take them to dinner and they find out that their 2 husbands who are best friends and also law partners want to divorce them, the 2 ladies, because they now want to be together as a couple. And it follows how the dynamic of their relationship changes. So there are some serious moments, but for the most part, to me, it's hilarious and about them trying to get back into the dating world and just maneuver their life as newly single at 70. So you can imagine what that's like. So I love Grace and Frankie. I think it taps into a lot of issues that people may not think about, and it causes you to think as well as it makes you laugh in the process. So definitely give Grace and Frankie a try. The next one I have on here is Insatiable. Insatiable is my show. And all of these I've finished already, so these are all series that I've finished. But Insatiable is only 1 season out there right now, and I hope they bring it back for a season 2 because I need more. the first thing is the star of the show, Debbie Ryan. I wasn't sure what to expect from her because I know her because I have kids, and if you have kids and your kids watch Disney, then you know her from the TV show Jessie. She played Jessie, and she's also been in some other Disney movies. Insatiable is about as far removed from Disney as she could get. Insatiable follows Debbie Ryan as the main character who she was fat and she was being bullied for being fat, and she's been fat most of her life, so that's what she knows. And at 18, I won't spoil it for you, but something happens and it causes her to lose weight, and once she loses the weight, her mindset is pretty much still in the same place. So her character's name is Patty. She calls her Fatty Patty because that's what, you know, kids were calling her as they were bullying her. And so Fatty Patty has this mindset of, you know, still being a fat girl, where she has a skinny girl's body now, and so she's learning how to maneuver through the world with a, you know, being smaller, and she gets into pageants and the things that ensue once she meets a certain person. It's hilarious. Go watch the trailer for it, but I'm telling you, give Insatiable a try. It may seem a little crazy, a little far out there at first. It is hilarious. It will keep you guessing. Things you think are going one way, they go all the way to the left. It's amazing, and the final episode will leave you like, what? So yeah, definitely waiting on a season 2. Netflix, give it to me. Okay, the next one, this one has I think they've been off the air for a while now, and it did end, but it was on television. It's called Switched at Birth. I actually was intrigued by it for 2 reasons. One, because I'd heard a story like this before when I was younger. There was a movie that came out because this was something that actually happened. Not the storyline that's followed so much in this one, but the movie I saw where someone was switched at birth in real life. They were switched at the hospital, and, you know, each family took home the wrong child. Excuse me, they took home the wrong child, and one of them ended up dying because something was wrong with her, but she didn't die until a few years later. And when that happened, and because of whatever disease she had or what happened, they found out that wasn't their biological child, and that's how they found out who their real child was. They went looking for him, so that was the whole thing. But in this particular situation, Switched at Birth, the families find out as teenagers that the children were switched at birth. One of them is deaf. So when they do meet, the new family who had the hearing able child ends up needing to learn sign language to be able to communicate with their daughter. And so that's one thing that I liked about it as well, because when I was in middle school, I did learn a little bit of sign language. All I can do right now is the alphabet. So I enjoyed watching that and seeing some different signs and trying to see what they were saying. And excuse me for just a second, guys. My dog is trying to get to something he shouldn't. Okay, so Switched at Birth, it covers so much, and the families go through so much and have so many different changes, but it's definitely something that lets you into the world, especially if you have teenagers, lets you into the world of teenagers and what they're going through, the hearing impaired. And I learned so much, and it's just a very interesting show, so definitely give Switched at Birth a try. All About the Washingtons. This was one that I actually walked in on my daughter watching, and I was like, why didn't you put me on to this? You know I love them. So it follows Rev Run from Run DMC, and I don't know if many of you ever watched the show that they had on Run's House, I think was the name of it, where it was a reality show that followed Rev Run's family. To me, from having watched Run's House, they basically just did a scripted version of the Run's House show with, you know, it's him and his actual wife, Justine Simmons, and just it's the two of them, and they play themselves, and the kids are not their kids, and they're actors. But what it does is it pretty much follows how his life was. He's now a retired MC who's trying to do that, and his wife is now trying to shine in her own way by having her own business. So it shows how they switch roles and raising the kids and everything. So it's a really cute show. It shows a positive family dynamic, and it's very cute. It's funny. Check out All About the Washingtons. The last series that I have on here is Dear White People. Dear White People is what I call a show that is definitely for the culture. It is groundbreaking. It's just very insightful. If you have not seen Dear White People, and what's crazy about it, and you know, don't come for me on this, but I have not seen the movie. I did not watch the movie Dear White People, so I do need to go back and watch the actual movie, but I have checked out the series. It is phenomenal. The acting, the storylines, it's very on point. It follows a young lady, main character on campus, who she herself is biracial, but more so as the world views her as a black woman, and they're at a predominantly white school, at an Ivy League school, and shows the black students' perspective of what's happening to them on campus, or what they're dealing with as news comes out about different things in the world and within the campus. And it's definitely, it's a brilliant, smart show. Definitely check out Dear White People. So those are all the shows or series that I have. Movies. One movie that's on Netflix right now is actually from 2008. It's Mad Money. It stars Queen Latifah, Diane Keaton, and Katie Holmes. And they're all in just your run-of-the-mill everyday jobs. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Diane Keaton has lost her job, and or husband has lost his job, and they're just strapped for cash. They end up coming up with a plan to rob a bank. So you can imagine what comes in after that. So it kind of reminds you of Set It Off a little bit. Queen Latifah always trying to rob a bank. But yeah, so that movie, Mad Money, it's a great comedy if you're into that. Candy Jar is one that I watched recently. I think it's a Netflix original, if I'm not mistaken. And Candy Jar follows two kids who are heavily involved with their debate team at school, and they have kind of been each other's arch nemesis since elementary, and then they end up having to work together. It's really cute, heartwarming story. I liked it. Deuces is a film, also I believe a Netflix original. It stars Lorenz Tate and Lance Gross. It is action-packed drama. Lance Gross's character is undercover trying to take down Lorenz Tate's character, who's like a crime boss, and his sister ends up dating him. So yeah, that's definitely a great movie to check out. And last but not least is What Happened to Monday. So they're in a world where it's illegal to have siblings. So if your parent they can only have one child. If they have more than one, gotta go. So this lady has septuplets. So that's 7 identical daughters. I believe she ends up dying at some point because she's not in the movie, and the grandfather raises them secretly in a home as one child. It's 7 of them, so each of them have a day of the week: Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And that's because you go out into the world on your day of the week. So Monday goes out on Mondays. Well, Monday did not come home Monday night. What happened to Monday? So the other 6 sisters are remaining to find out what happened to their other sister, and only one of them can go out at a time to accomplish this, so that they don't get found out that there's more than one of them. So those are my Netflix picks. Netflix picks. Yeah, that's hard to say. So let me know what you think. Check those out. Leave your comments below. Let me know what your Netflix picks are, and if you like mine. Remember to like my videos, subscribe, turn those notifications on, and check me out on Instagram at Chat with Chondee. Check you next time.